The ramblings of a madman can be very dangerous, especially for those of you who listen.
Triple Threat is for a mature audience only.
It's time! It's time! It's
Triple Threat! Triple Threat! What?
Triple Threat is in effect.
Suplex City, bitch! On the mothership.
Welcome to another episode of Triple Threat. I am Big Daddy.
I mean, Jesus, it's like if they changed the covering of the ding dong to like vanilla. I mean, come on, what the hell, man?
And the myth, the legend, the prank.
For every action, there's a reaction. And a Piker reaction is quite a fucking thing.
What could you say about G3 that has already been said about Marty Jannetty?
My shoes cost more than your house!
Triple Threat is in effect.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Triple Threat. I am Big Daddy STV and on the chat is the California Kid.
Hey.
And the living legend, the Pipe.
I meant to tell you for a long time, it always sounds like you're saying STD, not STV. It sounds like you're saying Big Daddy STD.
Yeah.
You know?
Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, I just realized that. But what's going on, STV? And what's going on, California Kid?
Hey, man,
and to all you listeners out there who do have STV, we're praying for you.
Definitely. I didn't say that.
All right,
I'm sure there's some antibiotics at CVS that'll clear it right up.
Alright, we're gonna have to censor you because we don't want to get trolled YouTube. Also, thank you for the people that downloaded and subscribe to our show. We hit past 3,000 views.
Woo! Nice. We're really catching up with those guys who prank their girlfriends.
Yeah. New year, same old you know what. Let's get started. We're going to talk about some things that we missed and some that's happening now. But let's get to today's top story. Miss Tessa Blanchard. Apparently, Miss Tessa Blanchard is a bully and a racist.
Who would have thought in the new year in our first show, the first thing we talk about involves an Impact Wrestler?
Yeah. So apparently Tessa Blanchard yesterday sent out a tweet saying, "Hey women, try supporting one another. Cool things happen." To which NWA Women's Champion Allison Kay, aka Serena, responded by saying, "Remember when you spat in a black woman's face and called her the N-word in Japan? Was that you supporting women?" The audacity of this tweet. And then Chelsea Green, NXT, chimes in saying, "You constantly put down, bullied, and belittled countless female co-workers, including me. Is that support?" And Priscilla Kelly also chimes in saying, "Remember publicly putting me down on Twitter last year for something that didn't involve you whatsoever, then continuing to drag my name to other people for it. Pepperidge Farm remembers. You should probably delete this tweet." And then I still Dawn comes in. Rebel chimes in. Renee Michelle.
Big Swole.
The only person I seen that back Tesla was Moose.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're like BFFs.
And then Lola Star. Here's the kicker about that one. WrestleName Ollie has claimed that Lola Star is a pedo.
Wow.
Saying that she allegedly told her to send nudes to her when she was 13.
Jeez.
Okay.
So, and to go, I mean, this is real shocking because, you know, Tessa Blanchard is like one of the top female wrestlers of last year. I mean, I think she still is champion of WoW.
No, she lost it.
She did?
I think so.
But she's like one of the big stars on that show.
Yeah, she was like the first champion of it, yeah. And, my God. Could this not come at a worser time? I mean, especially since the show, the Impact show is tonight, and it was really, really rumored she was going to win it tonight.
Yeah, her.
From Sami Callihan, and that has been such a fantastic feud, and you know, and it's a damn shame because this was such a monumental moment in wrestling. You know, you got her doing this, a woman, mind you, getting this push and possibly winning the belt, and then all this happens, and you know, the bullying thing, the fact that so many people are saying it, and you know, back a few years ago, yeah, what I heard, Tessa was a real piece of work, you know, to deal with, and
her
just a big ego and shit, and rub people the wrong way. Now the racist thing, I never heard until the whole thing that the stuff on Twitter, and people seem to back it up, and you know, and I don't believe she's racist. I mean, you know, maybe an idiot, but you know, if it's true though, that's a shame. I mean, that's really sad.
That is, because let me tell you, it's the same thing. Like a lot of these wrestlers who have this kind of, I don't know, that like even with Braun Strowman, this whole Twitter thing where they get on Twitter and they start kind of letting loose, and then I just don't know what drives people to have to use the N-word or have to do that. I mean, look, I know it's a big time, you know, derogatory racist term, and I know that some people consider it to be the kind of, it's bad when they start trying to wear it as a status symbol, and then they find out that they've been idiots this whole time. But I mean, you know, it's just a wake up call. I mean, you can't just go out and call people that, especially black people. You just can't do that. And you know, it's one of those things that's just common sense. But on the other end of things, I mean, Tessa Blanchard, it's sad to see this because I watched her get started, and she was really rough around the edges, and then I watched her performance in the women's, what was it? It wasn't the Mae Young class. Yeah, it was the Mae Young class.
Yeah, it was Mae Young.
Yeah, I watched her performance in the Mae Young Classic, and man, I mean, she was not that good. She was not that impressive to me during that time. But man, what a turnaround! I watched her whole run at TNA there. Well, not TNA, Impact Wrestling now. I watched her whole run over there with Anthem, and man, it's been great watching that. The feud with Sami Callihan, and it's been great to see all that. But I tell you, it's just tragic when something like this happens.
Yeah, and like I said on one of my forums, I mean, it's very sad because she's like one right up there with Becky Lynch as one of the top performers in 2019. Yep. And then for her to do this, she's going to get a major backlash. She already lost one indie gig because of it.
And then Impact wouldn't have her. She wasn't even in the Impact calling thing. You know, the what do you call it? The media conference. Yeah.
And WoW pretty much told everybody they weren't doing any comments about the whole thing.
Now, there's a possibility that I don't know about WoW or anything, but Impact might. It's possible they're going to really consider this, or maybe be on her side about it. You know, and you know, maybe it really depends how tonight goes. Now she might go out there and get booed like hell. Like Sammy might be the face now. If she loses, that tells you right there what's gonna happen. I mean, but if they do some shit where they pull her and stuff, she's definitely leaving, or they might even fire her. You know, again, it's a shame. It was like it's like who knows what's gonna happen, but like tonight, it's gonna be a very interesting pay-per-view tonight.
I forgot what video this was, but there was also a video where one of the ladies that's in NXT now, she went and she slapped her in the face.
Like Tessa slapped her?
No, Tessa was in the corner and the lady was on the other side of the ring. She got up and she just flat out slapped her in the face.
Oh, wow.
And they just started brawling right in the middle of the ring for real.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Oh, man. Can you believe she used to date Ricochet? Can you imagine what that relationship was like? Wow.
I don't know.
And it's just like I don't know. This, like I said, it's very sad. Who knows? Hopefully, if like I said, if it is in fact true, then just come out and apologize. People are gonna be mad, but we're a fickle bunch, but we can be a forgiving bunch. So, hopefully this will teach her well and realize her error of her ways and learn from it, grow from it. You're gonna have to you're gonna probably eat a lot of crow and crap, but
Yeah.
But look, if it makes her feel any better, look at it this way: at least you're not Lars Sullivan. So take pride in that.
Yeah. On to the next topic. So Raw started out the new year with Brock Lesnar returning and saying that he is going to be in the Royal Rumble, even though Brock is the WWE champion, and he's going to be number one. Now, the title is not up for grabs. It's just that Brock is going to enter the Rumble and be the first in the Rumble.
Yeah.
So
they've run out of ideas.
They really could not decide who to put him in the ring with. So they just said, "Okay, we'll get everybody."
No, it's not that. I think they've run into I think they've cornered themselves because Brock has a lot of creative stroke, I believe. And I think what's happened here is that there's only a handful of people that Brock will work with. I think that we found that out, in a couple of people he's faced over the years that have gotten on interviews and talked about this lightly, albeit, but very... They did go ahead and lead us that direction that there's some people that Brock will not respectfully work with.
Look at what happened. I mean, he jobbed to Seth. How they did with Seth after he lost to Brock. They just totally destroyed Seth as a babyface. Instead of, for some reason, having him face off against AJ and the OC, they had him face off against Baron Corbin.
Which, like I said, this is why I've been kind of burned out with the WWE for a while. Is that exact thing you said? Because I watched it. You've got to build to having AJ Styles and Seth work another program, which is never going to get old because those two could probably blow us away every time. But you have that dynamic, and he's the baby face. You have AJ as the heel, and instead you throw us Baron Corbin in there, and you say, Brock's still money. We can put, Brock's a big money player, but not all the time, guys. Not all the time. I don't know what it is about WWE trying to bank on Brock constantly. There's not a cow to milk anymore. I mean, it's a seasonal thing with Brock. It's harvest with Brock. You harvest Brock at a certain time.
I mean,
like I said, they don't get it.
I mean, you still got Kevin Owens, and you had Joe. Joe just returned.
Joe's been mistreated since, Joe's been giving these people gold, and he's been mistreated since day one, honestly. I mean, yeah, it was not, he had a wonderful run in NXT, but as soon as he got up to the main roster, it was like, man, I just knew they were going to give him the runaround on getting any major run or anything like that. To this day, I still haven't seen a good Samoa Joe angle that is paid off for him. It's paid off for other people, but not him.
But I still think like they could have done a few with Kevin Owens or maybe Joe, but yeah. But Raw just has they don't have that many faces.
They're getting too caught up on. They got, like I said, the writing direction. With respect to Paul Heyman, is just. I mean, he needs to come up with if he's trying to get away from the ECW style of writing, that's fine. But you still need faces, Paul. You still need your faces. You still need your good guys. And it may not be that Paul even has as much say as they said he would, but I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be the first time that Paul's been lied to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of that, let's talk about the Lana and Lashley.
But then I want to quit before we turn to that. I'm wondering, does this mean that the Men's Rumble is going to be the main event?
I'm pretty sure it is. I mean,
and then I'm wondering how this is going to play out. Is he going to last through the whole thing? And is it going to be a thing where he's going to eliminate 2 through 6 within 6 minutes? And just so many angles at play here. So I don't know. And then what happens? What's supposed to happen if he wins?
I guess he faces the Fiend or Daniel Bryan again.
Man,
boy, that's complicated.
Well,
go ahead.
Speaking of bad booking on Raw, on New Year's Eve they had the whole Lashley and Lana wedding. Real cringe fest. They had Lana and Bobby dressed up. Then they had the parade of exes. First it was Lana's ex-husband, number 1. Then Bobby's ex-wife, which wasn't Kristen Marshall. And then the big reveal of Liv Morgan, who everybody thought was Bobby Lashley's girlfriend, but she was actually talking about Lana. Then they had Rusev jump out of the cake, and shenanigans happened.
All I kept thinking that whole time is, man, that cake looked good.
But well,
what about this? What was it? The Mandy cake?
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
that's another show.
That was great.
But yeah. So basically, they've been hyping up Liv Morgan returning, and I think it's been 5 months since she left after getting beat by Charlotte, and they bring her back to say that she's now a lesbian. It's a little disappointing.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are comparing the whole Lana Rusev to the storyline with Otis and Mandy Rose.
Oh my God, Otis and Mandy is way, way better.
Yeah, it's funny as hell.
I'd rather watch that any day over Lana and Lashley crap.
But it's kind of funny because somebody had already said about it would have been better if it was Mandy and Sonya and Otis instead of Lashley, Rusev, and Lana.
I just remember, when me and Fancy, we watched Total Divas. I remember on that one episode where Sonya was pushing for that to be a lesbian angle for her and Mandy, and they turned it down. And then she was pissed on Twitter the fact they were doing this with Lana and Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
And I would have been pissed too. It's and it's horrible. And yet you realize if you're into that, read the ratings, it was a freaking hit. And it's Vince loved it. And I think what it is that we as a society, at least a good chunk of the society, we love train wrecks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is why the Kardashians are popular. This is why Real Housewives, Jersey Shore, Floribama Shore, you know, Love and Hip Hop. This is them trying to do what Love and Hip Hop do. You know what I'm saying? And that's why people watch, because they love to see train wrecks. They didn't care about the story. They just wanted to see this cluster of a story.
Yeah.
And that was one of the worst wedding officiators I've ever seen.
I do kind of feel bad for him because he got beat up by the security officers.
Yeah, and now they're saying it was planned.
It was planned.
Like, you talking about when he came in the ring and all the security jumped on him?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're now saying that was planned. At least Dave Meltzer's saying it was planned.
It's me.
But yeah, I'm just ready for this whole thing to end. But then why should it keep going for another 6 months?
Yeah, not really into the whole storyline, but I do like the Mandy Rose and Otis thing. It's pretty cool. I just hope that it doesn't turn into Otis versus Dolph Ziggler.
This whole thing is about cake. It's like cake has been the basis of this whole thing.
It has, yeah.
Weird, right? I mean,
the cake time, man. The cake.
Yeah, really could have done without watching Otis eat the damn thing.
Yeah,
like, it's like, good for you, bro.
Man, we talked about
what?
Bailey turning heel.
You want to?
Yes, let's talk about that. Bailey's heel run. Does anybody think this is worth a damn?
The what?
Her heel turn. Do you think it's worth a damn?
It's a lot better the fact that Sasha's there. I don't think no one would have paid as much attention if Sasha wasn't around.
Sasha was riding heavy off a controversy of her own, so I mean that kind of gave it fuel.
And I will say, it's hard to buy into this being Bailey compared to like the hug girl and all that, But nice haircut though. I mean,
I do like the cut.
Yeah, and not crazy about the new music, but
Well, WWE can always do better with the music, but for some reason they try not to.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. They could have done like they did with Doink and made like her happy song like a dark version of the happy song. Something like something grungy, or maybe not even grungy, just dark. Like I don't know. I'm not saying Marilyn Manson dark, but I'm saying like
I get it. Like some 9 Inch Nails or something.
Yeah.
I get it. And then and now, if anything, this Hill thing, all it's doing is really putting Lacey Evans over.
Is anybody buying her as a face?
When she brings up the military stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
It's her becoming herself. It's her being more realistic instead of like this Southern Belle housewife. When she does the military stuff, that's when it makes sense.
She should have led with that when they should have wrote her as that when she came in. That would have done her a lot better. I think with the popularity of Glow and the character, and everything like American Belle, they could have capitalized a little bit off of that, but not made her a heel starting out, because even though she could have been a good heel, her in-ring work, you have to be good to be a heel. I mean, the heel has traditionally been the one that carries the match, and like if she couldn't do it, they didn't need to lead her off as a heel.
Like I said, I understand where they were going with her as a heel. It's just that she was still green, and I don't think she deserved a run with the against Becky for the title.
I didn't think she should have been in the main card that soon. Like, that was just way too soon to throw her into the main card. Not to mention the gimmick wasn't contemporary. The gimmick that wasn't brought to contemporary standards. Like, if you're gonna do the Southern Belle thing, classy, whatever, have a premise that's a little bit more contemporary to go with that. Like, it's just to me they were kind of still playing off her whatever. I don't know if that's her love for the 1920s and 40s or whether that's that's Vince's idea or whatever.
I think that was her idea.
Well,
I believe that is hers.
But you have to play that. If you're gonna play that as a heel, if you're gonna play the Southern Belle, you have to do it kind of like you're a hipster, not like you're actually trying to go back to that era. You're trying to honor that era, not go back to it. You know, because that's gonna cause. I mean, it's gonna get you heat, but not enough heat. You know.
And I will say this, like, having said all that, I will give credit's due. Her daughter is adorable.
I hadn't seen her.
Yeah, like, she was there on that one episode of SmackDown in front while Lacey was getting beat up, and she was acting like she was gonna bite Sasha.
Yeah.
That was adorable. She's adorable. You know?
But do you think they should put her and Dana Brooke as a team?
Yeah, I think they should. I think they will. I think they could probably complete each other. You know, I think it'd be better if they went that route. And,
they may, yeah.
Like the tag team titles, the women's tag team titles need more love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Needs more care. Yeah.
It needs some more meat. It needs some more blood. You know, it needs some more attention.
Yeah,
but that I don't
want it to end up in the same tar group as the 24/7 belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
oh God, no.
It just to me though, it's just I wish they hadn't introduced those titles until they just grew the roster and
that's
just designated people to the tag division. You know,
that's why I was so mad when they turned Dakota Kai. I'm like, you just lost one of your best tag teams.
Don't even get me started. If I watched that with my neighbor Brandon, aka Fiend, because he loves being Hi Fiend. I know you're gonna listen to this. But I was at his apartment, we were watching that, and I was nearly crying when that shit happened. I mean, that crap happened. Because I loved them together. I've been a fan of Knox for a long time, and I like Kai, and it's like, man, that could have been the team that really brought some dignity and prosperity for those belts. So,
and then they finally did what we wanted them to do. They brought the tag titles to NXT and had a good match with the Kabuki Warriors.
Kabuki Warriors, yeah. So
you have a perfect team right now with the belts. They just have to build a division around it. Like they could build a whole division around the Kabuki Warriors, and but they keep shuffling people around.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Lacey and Dana, they should stay together, and But it's been, like I said, it's been an interesting whole thing with her, Bayley, and Sasha, and like, can't wait to hear Sasha's rap album. You know what I mean?
Oh Lord,
really? There's a rap album?
Apparently, they were saying on SmackDown part of the storyline she's working on rap, but she actually is apparently.
What?
Yeah. Well, her cousin Snoop, of course she's gonna put out a rap album.
You think it's gonna be better than Cena's?
Oh, I hope so. Oh God, yes, I hope so. I'm a bad boss.
It's bad, man. That's George and Janelle.
I know, I was being funny, jackass. You ruined my joke, California kid. You just pulled a Dana Brooke and ruined my joke.
Oh my goodness, guys.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Batista. Please don't hurt me. I didn't mean to include Dana in that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Well, let's
wait. One quick question though before we jump ahead. You think she's gonna fight Bayley for the belt at Rumble?
Well, according to some rumors, she's probably gonna fight Bayley for the title at WrestleMania.
So, would that mean a possibility that she wins the Women's Rumble?
I No, I think Shayna's gonna win it.
So this is where Shayna has her debut, so to speak.
Yeah.
You don't see her showing up at Raw first? You think she's gonna show up at Rumble?
I think she's gonna show up in the Rumble.
Okay. Now, are they gonna still do that thing where it's 10 Raw, 10 NXT, and 10 SmackDown?
Probably.
Okay.
But
makes sense to me, because really, especially the women's, they've been doing that already. Because how many NXT women were in the Rumble last year?
There were a few.
Yeah. So.
And plus, with them winning the Survivor Series, I wouldn't be surprised if those same women, including Shayna, is in the Rumble.
Did you think they were gonna win that thing?
Not by... Well, I take that back. Yeah. I thought they were going to give it to SmackDown because SmackDown's on Fox. And they probably going to keep Fox happy by giving SmackDown the win.
I thought. I honestly thought SmackDown was going to own the whole thing.
Now, I thought they were going to give like the NXT women the match. And they were going to give Team SmackDown the men's. But... You know, I thought they were going to keep it neck and neck, and they kind of did.
Yeah.
But I was surprised they had NXT win. And why in the blue hell does now things on the pre-show count? Well, last year, they didn't count for shit.
Yeah, remember that was a whole thing, and, that was weird.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. I guess it just goes by producer, like whoever the show producer is or showrunner is, they decide whether they're going to count that stuff or not. But it pisses me off because it kind of causes continuity issues.
It does.
Yeah.
The only time for a show where a pre-show should matter is Mania.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the only time it should matter. Not taking anything away from people who do the pre-shows. I'm just saying, if it's Mania, that's where it counts.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just, speaking of Mania, man, I don't know if we covered this, but I read this rumor on Comic Book that, is it true, guys? Have you guys heard anything about this? Rey Mysterio is thinking about retiring at the next Mania?
I've heard about that. Yeah, I read about that he's thinking about hanging it up, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's true. If he has that moment where he loses, and I think what's gonna happen if he does lose, it's gonna be a good match. He's gonna take off the boots, whatever, and then he's gonna take off the mask.
Well, they did have him lose the U.S. title to Andre finally at MSG.
And they're kind of hinting at that already if you watch Raw, where he did take off his mask. So I think that if he is retiring, if there's any time to retire, it's going to probably be at Mania this year. So.
It's still shocking to me that they really think that nobody knows what Ray looks like under the mask.
I'm saying, we've seen it quite a few times about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But let's move on to the next topic.
Sure.
Let's talk about what did y'all think about Rhea Ripley winning the NXT Women's title from Shayna Baszler?
Hell of a match. That was fantastic. And if anyone was gonna be, Io Shirai beat her before, but anyone was gonna be officially put her down, no one more deserving than Rhea. I mean, she has just had a hell of a run, leading to the Survivor Series win and War Games and match Shayna. It was fantastic, and I could see her. I wouldn't be surprised if she held that thing for the whole year.
That'd be
interesting, and major props. Not taking away, major props to Baszler. She was a great champion.
I thought she was one of the best talents they had acquired in a long time.
Yeah, and she was fantastic, and she was like, there are times I'm thinking like, naming people I thought should have beat her, I thought was going to beat her, and, and that just shows how great she was and how tough she is. I can't wait to see her basically at the Rumble, you know. But happy for Rhea. She's
Yeah.
I keep thinking she's British. She's Australian, right?
I think so. I think she's from either there or New Zealand, the same part as Dakota Kai.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, if that's true, a lot of talented water in New Zealand, man.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, great for Ripley. Like I said, I can see her having that thing for a year. Her next feud should definitely be with Shirai.
Also, let's talk about Keith Lee. What are you guys' thoughts about Keith Lee?
That boy is going to be the future.
Jesus,
yeah.
The way he did the pounce on Adam Cole, shit.
Yeah.
Look at Cole didn't get a broken neck.
I mean, that man is, and I bet he's like one of those types where he's like a beast, but outside of the ring, he just seems like the sweetest guy. And just seemed very wholesome, very nice. I'm sure he's treating me and him so very well.
Indeed.
And but yeah, I'm very impressed. I was back in the Indies and had this really great match with Matt Riddle in the Indies that I loved. And I think it's fantastic and so great he's getting the North American title run. I could definitely. I mean, it's great he's going for North American title, but I could totally see him being the one to beat Cole for the belt. And man, it's like, you know what I'm saying, beating Adam Cole. And plus, how great was that feud with Dijakovic?
Oh yeah.
I mean, how fantastic was that feud? I mean, just great.
Yeah.
Now, really, I mean, could you imagine them as a tag team?
Yeah.
I mean, how dominant they would be.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but yeah, that was my thing. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of Keith Lee?
He's talented, and I love the part where he came up while Finn Balor was focusing on somebody in the ring. That was great camera work.
Oh, when he popped up?
Yeah.
I swear only he can do that.
But
it just wouldn't work if anyone else did it. Only he can do that.
And I was a little bit mad that they had him job Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but that was it's messed with that, but you know, that truly was a Star is Born moment. You know? I mean, the fact that Roman gave his props at the end, you know.
Yeah.
Watch him eventually be on SmackDown. I'm telling you.
Keep on.
Maybe not this year, but it's coming.
Keep on NXT. Alright, let's get to let's talk about AEW.
Sure.
It's been 3 months since AEW debuted on TNT. So let's talk about some pros and cons of AEW.
I was gonna start. Did you want to start?
Yeah, you go ahead.
I just want to say, you know, I watched it live early. It's really more pro for everyone in general. I just want to give props shout out to both TNT and USA for promoting the hell out of these wrestling shows. And like, especially, you know, TNT has promoted this show like crazy, you know, and also the Fox for promoting SmackDown like they've been doing, you know. And,
yeah, they put them.
Yeah, and like they put the machine like USA did for NXT and TNT's doing for AEW. And again, another pro. I mean, this has honestly been my feud of the last year with AEW, the Wednesday Night War. Fantastic. And but let me see, a pro. The first pro for me has definitely been the breakthrough year of Darby Allin.
Oh yeah, Darby Allin, man.
Darby Allin is a work of art, you know what I'm saying? And
he won me over. I mean, after seeing him over in some earlier matches, then he was impressive. But then, I've seen Extreme before, and I've seen that stuff, his early stuff, and then, just the continuous effort, and then seeing him in the documentary and seeing a little bit more about his story, then seeing him do, then watching him right now over the last year, it's been amazing. He's won me over.
That great match he had with Cody, and also a great match he had with Mox. And I think he's fantastic. And also another, it's not going to all be pros, I'm just say, but still a pro. I mean, giving a pro like the second life of Mox, Dean Ambrose. I mean, he just seems a lot happier now,
I think he is, and I think this was definitely a good move for him, because I just feel like there was an undertone of mistreatment that he was getting over there at WWE. I think he was just amazingly grateful, for what he was able to accomplish and with the chance he was given at WWE. But I think he just saw the writing on the wall and knew that he had evolved to a kind of he had found the kind of performer he wanted to be, and just decided that it wasn't the right place for him at that time.
Yeah. And let me see. Now, if I could pick a con, it's like JR, get the names right.
Yeah.
I mean, man, it's
another.
Excalibur is trying so much to help him, but man, JR, his name is Jungle Boy. I mean, not Jack, and you keep flubbing up the lines, man. You gotta take your time,
I'll say this too. Company-wise, I want to interject this real quick and throw a con in. Another con is just the fact that I think there's a lot of rush going on with the builds, with the story builds here. A lot of rush. I remember reading this article that was talking about Mick Foley's comments on what he thought, and he did make some good points, because as I've been watching the material, I've been able to catch. It just seems like there's a lot of rush going on, and there have been some supreme botches. I'm not saying they kind of were WCW caliber botches. There were a few WCW caliber level botches over the past few months, but I think there's so much potential here to build something that could be that could completely transform the industry.
Well, I can name a few. One when they debuted the Butcher and the Blades. I mean, come on, Cody. You mean tell me you couldn't have Allie walk out, do a promo against Awesome Kong, your wife, and then have her distract you, and then have Butcher and Blaze come and beat you up, and then her get in the ring and introducing the two guys, and then Excalibur and JR looking dumbfounded and wonder who did Allie introduce. I mean, that way you can keep from JR looking like a dumbass and Excalibur looking like a dumbass, and basically her introducing the group, and then everybody wonder who they are, without the way that you did it and made them both all look like dumbasses.
Yeah,
and then the whole thing with the Dark Order and the guy missing Dustin by a mile.
Oh yeah. And then let me say that, and I love the fact that the Elite YouTube channel made fun of that, and they did that thing where the SCU and Young Bucks were hanging out, and Daniels and SCU was being pricks about them being the tag team house, and they kicked them, Bucks kicked them out, and then Daniels was still there talking crap, and so I think it was Matt tackled him and started punching him and kept purposely missing him, and then he looked at the camera and still kept purposely missing him. Like, doom. But yeah, I'm glad they called out on that and realized the error of their ways. You gotta learn how to punch if you're gonna be in this company, man.
Was this before or after they left Twitter?
Before. That was. Oh wait, yeah, that was before they left Twitter. Also,
talking about the mat punching or that mat punching?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the mat punching. Oh my god, I saw that and I just cringed.
Let me just say that, like, that's another pro. The Being the Elite YouTube channel is fantastic now with AEW. It's like all this stuff that would usually be before matches on the actual show, they put it on the YouTube channel. And Leva Bates is hilarious. You know what I mean? I mean, she's really trying to get people to read. And what else?
Just as long as she's not trying to get advice from Steve Harvey.
Yeah. Oh, and then like nice burn, and then like another pro. I love AEW Dark.
Yeah,
AEW
that's
Dark
good.
is pretty cool, and gotta. Like I said, Leva, we mentioned how before, but yeah, you gotta recognize the women on this show.
Nah, I got some gripes with that.
I mean, just who the hell can be Rio? And then
I gotta say about this, Kenny Omega really needs to try to find some more women. I mean, just the way that they did the whole Rio and Nyla Rose match, they could have did a lot better. I mean, I know I said that it was best to keep it on Rio, but the end it was just, they could have did it better. I mean, if Nyla's supposed to be like this monster heel, why in the blue hell when Kenny Omega comes out to say Rio, Nyla doesn't go in and destroy the both of them? I mean, like, Kenny goes in like, Nyla, what are you doing? And she goes, okay, and she walks away. A monster heel would have crushed both Rio and Kenny, took out Kenny, and then gave a finisher to Rio. That's how you build a monster heel.
Those were great impressions, by the way.
But it's just.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. But I'm just saying, like, they missed a big opportunity to get both Rio and Nyla over, and they just haven't been doing that much good getting over both Rio, Britt Baker, and her teacher, Amy Sakura. Hell, on one of the podcasts, I was saying, like, why is this woman dressed like Freddie Mercury? And everybody else didn't know until, like, that match that her and Rio had, that they finally did some background on her master.
Do you like the alien?
Yeah.
Have you said one pro yet? I don't think you said not one pro yet.
You pretty much named most of the pros I was going to mention.
Yeah, we kind of hit those. I have to agree. We kind of hit those. We hit those bad boys.
Well, one we didn't mention though.
Which one?
Wait, I just had. Oh yeah, I mean, it's just great. Isn't it great seeing Young Bucks and Kenny Omega on TNT every day?
I mean, here's the thing, that's a huge pro for me, but I just, like I said, this whole AEW needs to be polished. It needs polish.
It needs a lot of polishing. Also, what did you guys think about Tony Khan doing the stunner after AEW Dark?
Takes a practice.
Okay.
Yeah. You might want to practice a little bit. But it's your company. Do your thing.
Yeah.
I wish I like his instinct. It's a shame the Jaguars don't have that same instinct. But it was funny, I guess.
Yeah.
I've seen better stunners, but then again, I've seen worse stunners.
Agreed.
I've seen some bad ones now.
I've seen some. Hell, I've done some bad ones. So good for you, Mr. Khan.
Yeah.
As long as you keep giving them money, everything's gonna be just fine.
Hold on, I want to throw a little con on the
Sure.
Another con for AEW in there.
Sure.
Man, this it's too early to be clashing with anyone from your competition. I'm not happy with this Tony Khan and Randy Orton thing that popped off. It's too early. It's just too early to be doing this.
Yeah.
Well, Randy Orton called him the female Dixie Carter.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's too early. Way too early.
Well, we all know Orton's got him out.
Tony should have never entertained this. This is too early to be mingling right now.
It'll be better. It'll be better in a few months when the revival.
Oh my God.
That was pretty much a big burn.
Yeah, when revival and Brody Lee showed.
But
Ascension, no, but Brody Lee, yes.
Yes. Alright, guys, let's talk about this. I forgot one of the major things we needed to talk about.
Sure.
So Miz was on the WWE backstage at the end of
How great is that show?
without Punk, and
I still rather watch that than the Bomb.
well, one because of Paige, but that's just me. Anywho.
Go ahead.
Anywho, so Miz was on WWE backstage, and at the end, Paige and God, I forgot Ambrose's wife's name, Renee. Sorry, asked him about what about Punk, because they were leaving and they said who's better against the Miz, and both of them were saying what about Punk, and Miz said sorry I didn't change the culture, to which Punk gave a really not safe for work response to the Miz. Unfortunately, I can't say it because we'll get kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think about CM Punk's response?
I was like, Jesus, dude, it was a joke. Like, you're very sensitive, but yeah, but then again, Punk's not the kind of guy that could take a joke. He can get very moody, but
I mean, this is the same guy that stopped being friends with Hornswoggle because Hornswoggle wanted to get one of their friends' number.
Yeah, oh God. And to be fair, Miz wasn't the best guest. No, he wasn't. But Punk, what exactly have you done to change the culture? So the only thing I see you really do that shocked me was call out Rollins and compliment Baron Corbin. That shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah, that was shocking.
About the dog food. So it's like, buddy, you haven't really done anything major yet. You really want to change the culture. You should have showed up when Seth Rollins was there and put his ass on blast.
Or you should have made sure that you picked up the phone when The Rock called you live on television.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he did do one thing right. He got us back ice cream.
Yeah.
Which won't come out till April, which pissed me off. Did you hear about that? Did you hear about that, Daniel?
What about the ice cream?
Good Humor is bringing back the ice cream. They're not gonna do the bars. They're gonna do like a ice cream sandwich.
Oh,
it's gonna be like the breading that was on the ice cream bar, but it's gonna be 4 in a pack, and it's gonna feature only John Cena, Becky Lynch, Roman Reigns, and Macho Man.
Dang.
Okay.
And it's gonna be around about $3.
Is there going to be a sugar-free version?
Sadly, no.
Yeah, I hope so.
Sadly, no.
Oh, darn.
damn it. Sorry, Todd.
Oh, good. I can just stare and watch y'all eat it. And how much you want to bet, since Punk deleted the tweet, how much you want to bet it was AJ that convinced him to delete the tweet?
I wouldn't be surprised. They're a Fox.
And then my neighbor said he thinks Fox made him do it.
Of course it did. It was kind of homophobic. I mean, they would let Punk go and be Punk, but as long as it doesn't get too homophobic or racist or any of those major things.
Did the quote unquote, did the instrument have to be bloody? I mean, it's like, my God, dude. I wish he had more of this fire with the Seth Rollins crap,
Yeah. All right, guys.
Other than that, like I said, it was a good interview, though. I love the fact that the one thing he likes about WWE right now is Otis and Mandy, so,
Yeah, that was surprising.
Yeah, he likes that. He put over Elias. He's like, everybody loves Elias,
Yeah.
Except for Drew Maverick.
Except for the company.
You mean Drake Maverick?
Drake Maverick.
Yeah. Except for the company.
Yeah, the company. You want to change coach? You want to really shop? You have Elias one.
He should have been he should have won the Intercontinental title and running with.
Yeah. But let's get to this. Since it is the new year, let's talk about our top 5 wrestlers of the decade.
All right.
I'll let you go first, Pride. Oh, you get to pick men and women too.
When we get to pick, I get to say all 5 or time or
go.
Go what? I asked the question.
What?
Am I going to do all 5 now, or are we going to do one at a time, or?
You can do all 5.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, thank you for picking me first. All right. No pressure or anything. Okay. Top 5. Well, 5. It's not in particular order. I'm still say 5. Gotta give it to Cody. I'm gonna put Cody on there. 4. I mean, come on, he ended the streak this decade, so you gotta put Brock in there. Let's see, Brock, Cody. What else should I put on there? Brock, Cody. And Becky. I put Becky in there. And let's see. Okada. Gotta put Okada in there. And the last one, 5 favorite wrestlers. I said Okada. I said Cody. I said Becky. I said Brock. And number 5. I gotta think. Let me think, man. Think. Well, it's kind of cheating, but it's the tag team of the decade, the Bucks.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the Bucks in there. It was really tough making a call because gotta give honorable mentions to Kofi, Will Ospreay, Blanchard. I mean, all that crap going on. Owens, Joe, Styles, all those guys. But yeah, that's my top 5. Next.
Oh yeah. Well, we're definitely gonna say Styles, and gonna throw in Cody. Man, the talking he did was fantastic this year, much needed. Definitely would include. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to say just for the sake that he plays a more important role than people realize. I'm going to say Samoa Joe, and I'm going to say because he doesn't get the credit he deserves. The Kabuki Warriors, and you know what? Let's see. Hard to say this last one. this is difficult. The last one, Fred Yehi. I think. I have to honestly to God, it's Fred Yehi. I mean, you want to talk about the person who embodies tenacity. Over the last year, having been up for several tryouts and did the training with William Regal, been through, did some guest spots on NXT, is sticking with it. Even in the matches I see pop up where he does in different territories, I mean, everyone I've seen is still meets that same awesome quality. Even he's not taking the time to visit the boys down there in Macon and do the GIPW shows and still working with Shane. Still keeps in contact with me regularly. Still supports the intensities. Still supports GWC. Man, a great guy. I mean, just does a lot of motivational speaking these days, but has not slowed down an inch. And if you watch any match on YouTube that he has done at any point in time, they're all awesome. They're all to quality. He may not be a big overstar right now, and he may not be signed to a contract, but by God, I think some company's missing out on like a very dependable player. And that was not like some biased shout out. I'm being dead serious.
Good list.
All right,
SDV, you're up.
Okay, top 5 men. Brock, Adam Cole, AJ, Kevin Owens, and Samoa Joe. Top 5 women: Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, Asuka, and Shayna Baszler.
You could have told us we could have. You could have told us we could have done men and women.
I did say that.
I didn't hear you say that.
I did say men and women. If you want to, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I already said one woman, but yeah, if that was the case with the women, I'd say I will include Charlotte. So I said Becky, and I say Charlotte, Sasha, Alexa Bliss, and Jordan Grace.
Yeah, and I would love to include Shayna Baszler as like my special add-on there, as like a just an honorable mention. Fantastic work. I mean, all the time.
2 things I noticed about all our lists. There's one person we didn't name, and also we didn't even mention him at all when we were talking AEW Pro Con. Not once did we mention Jericho.
I wanted to put Jericho on there too.
Like, would you say he's a pro or a con in AEW right now?
Right now he's a pro.
He draws, and his name is helping the company. I think he's in the right spot right now. I think he's a good fill, but I think that AEW is really there's a time limit on this for the fans. I think in the back of our minds there's a time limit as well.
There's time limit on his health, because you look at his dad body, he ain't getting any younger.
That's what I'm saying. There's a time limit here, and I think that we need to. I think that AEW needs to come to the realization that they are going to have to select a leading man for this show. And I mean, I don't know what it is about the writing here. Like I said, it's a green new company. So I mean, why they haven't written good material and gotten Kenny Omega where he needs to be right now, I have no idea. But they need to get somebody in that spot that needs to be there. If they want a heel as a leading man, then they need to find the right person. I think they failed by not selecting what's that kid's name who was the 10 guy? I keep
talking about Sean Spears.
Yeah, I think they really screwed up that whole thing with Sean Spears. Having him go under the Cody was one of the dumbest decisions I think they made, because the build up to him, the material, the time they spent building up to that angle, that was definitely something they could have drew money with, but I think they really dropped the ball there.
And go ahead.
And it just like I said, that they need a true to life leading heel, and Jericho's not going to be there forever. I mean,
I'll tell you what, though, you want to talk about again the pro and con, and I guarantee you, he's going to probably be in my list the next 10 years. Talk about Stars Born, MJ freaking F.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
That kid's money right there, for real. He's going to be the biggest heel in the world eventually.
Yeah.
It just depends on if they're going to capitalize. I mean, are they going to make the right move this time?
And then, it's another thing about all our lists for the decade. Not one Shield member.
Well, they screwed up Seth. They screwed up Ambrose, and they screwed up Reigns.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just some bad writing. I mean, there's been so much bad writing over the decades with WWE, but every once in a while every once in a while they know how to throw a diamond out there and get us back in. But I mean, even in a time when you have I've never seen WWE. I guess I haven't seen WWE this rich with great talent since the early '90s and the '80s. I mean, this is a golden time for them, and this is a golden time for the wrestling industry. But what I'm seeing more and more of is that on all fronts, whether it's Impact, AEW, or WWE, or even within NWA Power, there's all these issues with the writing, like the booking, the writing. It's really damaging, what could be the most golden era of all time in. And I just think a lot of these companies need to get their game together on how they want to tell stories. Even if they have to rein in some of this talent influence on the story writing, they need to get a grip on trying to draw money, and drawing money with good stories that make sense, putting the right people in the right places, and those people who have to wait to get to the top spot, make them wait, because get the people who are drawing money, who are truly drawing fan support and money. Don't sit there and write pointless, ridiculous stories, shuffle people around the positions, trying to experiment. You ought to know where people should be, and it's just, I just find that it's really going to be a huge ball drop if everybody doesn't get their act together. These show creative groups on all these brands, they need to just get their games together. I mean, they've really been dropping the ball for me, and that's really burned me out as a fan. I haven't been this burned out in wrestling in my entire life. I literally had fallen behind by weeks and weeks, and I had to catch up. But I mean, what I've been seeing is not good, and that's bad.
It's understandable.
How the hell was I the only one that picked a New Japan wrestler?
I'm glad you did. That was actually a good pick.
It's how the hell did y'all forget Okada?
Hey, don't yell at me. Yell at Daniel. Daniel's supposed to be the New Japan guy.
Okada will go on my honorable mention with Shayna.
I'm just joshing, but yeah, it was overall a good list, but yeah. It's a lot of wrestling. I haven't even seen Power yet. Is Power good?
I saw 2 episodes. It's a pretty good show. I want to go to one of the shows.
It's up there. I think you can see it at GPB.
Yeah.
Up there in Atlanta. I used to work there.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I've been wondering how good it is.
Yeah, it's a beautiful show. I've watched it. I love the look. I love the way it's designed. It takes you back to the old days, and it's done with such beautiful gusto. But like I said, again, there are a few writing issues. I'm not thinking with the stories, and like I said, the action's decent. It's a good show. It's one of the rare gems in wrestling today. If you look past all the crap that happened with Cornette, it's just and like I said, I didn't think that was a big deal, but I guess for YouTube, things become so sensitive now, especially with Facebook. I just won a battle with Facebook.
No, the problem with that was Cornette should have known that these guys were gonna be looking and watching his every move, because he had pissed off a lot of the AEW fanboys. And for some reason, Cornette did think that, none of them was going to say anything, but he stupidly gave in and said what he said, and those guys were just waiting for him to say something so they can cancel him.
Mm-hmm. It's the worst part when you have that kind of when you're a Jim Cornette, is that Jim Cornette is one of those people who, I mean, he's gotten far by being able to speak his mind, but it's also worked as a double-edged sword for him and he's made enemies. He's made a lot of enemies in a lot of different places, man. And it's sad to see that for somebody at his age and has put as much time in the industry as he has. But at the same time, I mean, when you get in a position like that, you're on NWA Power and you're sitting there and don't poke the bull. I mean, at a certain point, you have to realize that, look, I don't know what his status is. He may not need the money. Maybe he was just doing it because he loves NWA. I mean, it's no secret that Jim Cornette loves the wrestling business, and I'm glad he decided to jump on board the show. But
I think it was Corgan wanted to bring in an older guy since JR was taken by AEW. The next best thing was Cornette, and Corgan being a fan of wrestling as he is, I think it was one a childhood dream of him to have somebody like Cornette for his organization. But I'm pretty sure Corgan didn't really want all the backlash, because they were trying to build up NWA Power, and they were getting good press, but because of Cornette, some of that press has died down a little bit.
Yeah, it's like a torpedo to a ship that's just been launched.
But on that note, we'll end the show. I'd like to thank the California Kid.
Wait. The guy give R.I.P.
Oh yeah, and R.I.P. to La Parker number 2, who passed away yesterday. Apparently, he didn't recover after suffering an injury. I think they say he did like a dive out of the ring.
Yeah, it was suicide tope.
Suicide dive, and his head hit the turnbuckle, right?
No, it hit the guardrail.
Guardrail. I meant guardrail.
So it was brutal. I actually saw the footage.
Oh my God.
So our condolences to the family and friends of La Parker number 2. May rest in peace.
Certainly.
Yeah, certainly.
But on that, we'll end the show. I'd like to thank the California Kid and the Pike.
You're welcome.
Please like, subscribe, tell a friend, and download from your favorite podcast: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and Anchor FM. And on that note, see you later.
And don't spit on people. Don't spit on people.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right, later.
Later.